Mehryn, it's Friday. You know what that means.
It's Happy Friday. It's the fastest 10 minutes of selling Microsoft Teams rooms with your favorite hosts, Jimmy and Mehryn.
Right. We got that going. Mehryn, we had another boot camp this week.
Oh my gosh,
this week,
yeah.
Jimmy Worldwide. He was over across the ocean speaking to everybody who's selling Teams rooms over in that region. It was spectacular. We saw more selfies. We saw more people joining us. I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to Michelle and Kim, who actually stayed up late with us, did this session for us. Just absolutely spectacular. So happy to see everybody again. And Mehryn,
record breaking
boot camp. Yeah. It was amazing. But Mehryn, make sure you sign up for Inspire. I cannot stress this enough. Every single partner needs to sign up, and registration is open now.
We've got two things for you to sign up for. So this is the first one. And obviously this is always like the biggest event of the year. We've got a lot of really fun conferences coming up. And obviously you can see we've got some spectacular keynotes there, but this is an absolute do not miss for our partners. We plan FY24 and launch it July 1st. And this is your chance to kind of get the lay down of everything that we're planning for next year. So it'll be a good one.
And if I remember Satya's keynote from last year, he had a line in there that a majority of code in the near future will be written by non-humans. And he sort of tipped his hat there because this whole thing of AI is incredible. And you and I have been at the forefront of this. Also, Mehryn, we had a great video that came out this week.
We did. Our friends at QSYS. I always tell people I'm obsessed with the intelligent audio. I saw their demo at ISE, and they shared this video out on YouTube this week talking about a lot of us talk about meeting rooms. This is not a meeting room. It's an emergency operations center and how they integrate Teams and Teams meetings into this space and the flexibility that they've created there. So for non-standard spaces, it was a really cool rundown of your options that you can do with Teams.
We talk about it on the 4 pillars of Teams rooms. The first one, one of them is flexibility, being able to Teams enable any single space using our exceptional partner materials and exceptional partner devices. 100% you can actually outfit this. Great to see QSYS actually doing that. Mehryn, up in Canada, they just redid their offices. Mike Murphy, he joins from those conference rooms. It's beautiful up there.
It's like state of the art. I think it might be getting the most press out of any of Microsoft Technology Center in the world. It seems like they are this step ahead of everybody. This video was amazing. It talks about how they've incorporated generative AI throughout the space, how they've included signature spaces. I thought it was extremely well done. And they kind of walked through the steps and how it's impacted. And obviously Mike Murphy, I think he was there like 4 or 5 days this week. So more reasons to go back to the office, right?
Absolutely. And that hybrid is here. Also, I wanted to point out something that I found this week. Chris Wheeler, who's a TS here at Microsoft, did a really, really great video. He actually created his own booking system, Mehryn, using Teams panels and Teams rooms and all of the tools that you get with an E3, E5 license. He showed you how to create your own booking system. And my thought, Mehryn, was, holy cow, if I'm a partner, I can actually take inspiration from what Chris showed on his video and make something that I can actually make profit with my customers and deploy out to customers. To me, that was like a oh my God, gotcha moment.
Yeah, huge value-added service that you can uniquely provide. And he did it all like within this video, showing you exactly how to do it. A lot of imagery built in. So I thought it was fantastic. We've talked about it, like creating Power Apps is a nice way to build up your service offering to your customers.
Not only that, it's no code. I mean, people can jump in, you can learn things, you can make mistakes and then redo them and everything else. So really, really great job, Chris. And speaking of great jobs, Mehryn, I think we need to pat ourselves on the back. We're on track.
Yep, we've made a commitment, social responsibility here, and I love that we report out to the world of how we're doing with it. A really detailed report here. We go into depth of all the measures that we're taking, not only internally, but also with our partner community to influence emissions and CO2 outputs. So making progress. And I think we've made a commitment to 2027 and I think 2030 and beyond. So if you are interested, go ahead and check that out. Social responsibility.
I have my beach house and I need to keep the beach, Mehryn. So I do my work.
Yeah.
Also, AI, you and I have been on this road for a very long time, but we actually saw something where an AI startup pledges to help journalists and actually created a tool for them.
Yeah, for me, this was like a wow. Like we're talking about, okay, I want to see real life examples of how AI and these new tools are impacting real life businesses. We hear about it, maybe threatening jobs or how does it impact jobs. In this specific case, it was creating media content for journalists. Like I'm going to write an article, but it's going to take me an additional 5 hours to format it for social media, for LinkedIn, whatever else, get all the imagery. This is using their own database and basically helping do that work for them so they can focus on creating more and more articles and content. So for me, that was like a wow moment. They're not getting stuck in the quote drudgery. I can then focus on writing more articles, which is absolutely what we want to do. So
yeah, really cool to see that. Also, everybody has concerns about AI. It was great to see Time Magazine actually post an article and an interview with Satya about the concerns about AI. We've got this here at Microsoft, the idea of responsible AI. And we always we are here talking about Teams Room, but we can't talk about Teams Rooms without talking about Teams, without talking about everything that surrounds it. And Satya really hit the nail on the head with his article and in the response that he had about the concerns.
Yeah, and we obviously operate on zero trust, and I love that he just hit it right on. Like we're not hiding behind the security conversation. We're right there in it with you on it, and I think it's an important one to continue having. But we were talking about it before. I mean, the benefits here with AI and the impact that they're going to have on our work. Granted, there's going to be concerns around security, but in a lot of cases, at least for me, I think some of the benefits obviously outweigh. So important conversations to have, obviously. And absolutely. I think we're going to continue to have it over the coming years.
Yeah, and also Nicole Deason actually released her blog post this week too about scaling partnership and our partners actually thinking about how they can incorporate some of the accessibility into their work so that we can expand everything that we have and expand that customer base for all of their opportunities.
I love our approach to accessibility, and there's actually like a whole basically location within Microsoft headquarters that talks through and towards you. If you ever attend our campus and you can request a walkthrough of all the research we've done around accessibility, this is one of the areas that makes me super proud to work at Microsoft for sure.
And speaking of responsible AI, our friend Chris actually has a great use for AI. This might not be what you want to do, but 100% another great use for AI Chris. On there as well.
I love it.
Mehryn, one of the things that dropped this week, we'll be able to hide attendee names in webinars. Great advancement inside of the webinars. We know that I've actually had this personally on people that have contacted me through LinkedIn. When will we be able to do it? It's on the roadmap coming in July.
It's a good security feature. I love it.
Yeah, and we've been talking about this Windows 11 update, and it showed up on the release notes. You can update your system manually, but Michael, what happened to you this week?
I was on the TAP 100 call. They were talking about Windows 11 had been pushed out in TAP. I'm like, really? Has it? So I pop on my MTR. I got updated to Windows 11. Didn't even know what happened.
That's awesome.
So didn't even know it happened. Is that not the perfect Microsoft Teams Room story for it to happen? But if you do want to try, again, Mehryn and Michael, I think it's important. You've got some lab systems. You've got things that you want to actually see. Hey, what happens when I do update to Windows 11? Nice to see that you can use the manual update where it will pull off that restriction so that you can do it yourself.
Yeah, I think a few of our listeners have started to check that process out. So very cool.
Mehryn, next week is one of our conferences, Microsoft Build for Coders. I'm a coder myself. You're a coder. We all do code.
Y'all are now.
Let's attend Build. Let's make sure that we get up to date on all of the newest things.
Yeah, I went ahead and looked at the agenda. It's a lot of AI, but if you want to get ahead of AI, and I suggest that everybody do, especially everybody that's in the audience today, there's some really amazing keynotes at the front of that. So mark your calendar, May 23rd, virtually available to go in. There are people that can attend in person in Seattle. So if you're local to that, check it out.
I get confused. I don't know what's NDA, what's not NDA. So I tend to just say, all right, I got a blog post and I'll fill it. And Mehryn, I'm going to be out in Malvern, Pennsylvania next week with our partners, Sonero and Poly, out there doing a lunch event. If you are in the area, would love to see everybody come out, have some lunch, learn some things, and let's just talk. We're going to be in the MTC that's out there. Probably going to see some front row in Microsoft Signature Room. So I'm really excited for that as well. Also, our friends at Logitech, Mehryn, great event next week.
Yeah, they sent out some emails yesterday of like, hey, I think they teased, like they showed a photo of one new item and you kind of saw a piece of it, but not all of it. So they're starting to tease this out, but there's going to be 3 new product announcements next week, kind of a teaser to InfoComm. So I signed up. I think there's 3 or 4 different time zone availabilities. So make sure you go ahead and sign up for that.
Great to see new products showing up, new Microsoft Teams rooms. Mehryn, have a good weekend. Have a good week. It has been an incredible week. Michael, thank you for coming on and sharing with us your stories. Thank you to the community. Thank you to everybody who came out to Starin. I was at Starin this week, and I know my friends Chris and Dan wanted me to tell WWF stories from back in the day, but it was all Microsoft Teams room focused. So, Mehryn, Michael, have a good weekend. Everybody out there, have a good weekend. We'll see you next Friday.
Bye, everybody.